Hi everyone, it's summertime in San Diego, and what's better to make than an all-American classic dish, and that is macaroni and cheese. It is my nephew's favorite, but this time what we're gonna do is make it completely plant-based, so it's high in protein, fiber, and it's gonna have allium vegetables and a lot of different spices that's good for us. My name is Chris. I am a diabetes nurse practitioner. I want to welcome you to my plant-based kitchen where we make healthy foods so that we can live longer and happier. So today, what we're going to do is put a twist on this American classic dish. What we're going to use as main ingredients, we're going to have a lot more ingredients later on, but let's start with this here. So if you come closer here, we're going to use about 2 carrots or about a cup of carrots. I'm going to chop this up and put it in the pot here to boil, along with about 2 cups of red potatoes. I'm using red potatoes because it's not as starchy. It also has a lot more fiber in it. And then we're going to use half of this onion here because we only need about half a cup of onion. And to add the protein in there, I usually use cannelloni or white beans, but I don't have that today, so we're going to use half a block or about a cup of tofu. So instead of using the macaroni as well, we're going to use this organic Italian pasta. I believe it is pronounced orecchiette, which is like almost like little ears, is orecchiette. So it has these grooves right here. And I thought it'd be perfect to capture the cheesy sauce that we have later on. So we're gonna boil this too, according to package instruction, and we're gonna assemble it together. We have now chopped up our vegetables. If you come closer here, so you've got your potatoes, your carrots. I've cubed up the tofu. I want it cooked so that it would last longer if I need to have extras and use it for other dishes. And then I have about half a cup of onion there. We're gonna put hot water in this thing, and then we're gonna boil this for about 20 to 25 minutes. Just test the hardest vegetable here, and that would be your carrots. Now, when you drain this later on, please make sure that you reserve about 1 cup to 2 cups of the vegetable stock here that we're gonna make, because we're gonna use that when we blend our cheese sauce. So let me just put this aside later for now. And then let me show you all the other spices we're gonna use. So looking at all these spices, because we want to make sure that we create a really nice umami flavor, and that's what cheese brings, really, is umami. But we're gonna recreate that by using different ingredients. So you have the salt here, and this is 1 teaspoon of salt that goes into your cooking water, so that when you take out your vegetables, it's already salted. You also have like sesame tahini here. We're gonna use about 1/4 of a cup of this one. And sesame tahini is really just ground up sesame seeds. Normally we use like cashews, but a lot of cashews is a lot of fat. And it's still good for you, but I'm trying to cut back on the fat. And what brings the cheesy flavor is really this nutritional yeast. It's also packed in vitamin B12, so it's really great for people who are plant-based. And then the other thing is mushroom seasoning, and mushrooms bring umami to a lot of dishes. Now, if you don't have roasted garlic that you puree, what I suggest is just, about a teaspoon of garlic powder. That you're gonna use for your sauce. I do have pureed roasted garlic here that I made last week, and then I'm gonna use it for this dish. The other thing that will create umami, and it's also like a probiotic, is a tablespoon of miso paste. So this is white miso paste that we're gonna use here. And for our other spices, we're gonna use white pepper, turmeric to create a slightly yellowish color, and paprika. All of this is about 1/2 teaspoon each. So we're gonna use this later on. So the vegetables are cooked. Our pasta is also al dente. What we're gonna do is start assembling these ingredients. So this is still pretty hot here. We're gonna transfer it over to our blender here. I cooked it for about 20 minutes, not more than that really. My vegetables rather became soft pretty quickly, so it didn't take very long. And what I like about this dish is that when you blend the potatoes, it creates a very smooth and cheesy sauce. And it should just almost fill up the whole entire blender as well. We've reserved some of the cooking water there as well because we need to thin this out a little bit later. Okay, and remember that we also added a little bit of salt in here. So we're gonna have at least some of the vegetables already salted here. And of course, if it's still not salty enough, then by all means you can add more salt. So we're gonna put like about a cup of this in here. I'm gonna reserve the rest of this just in case we need to thin it out some more. And then let's put some of our sesame tahini in there. So about a fourth of a cup. Let's see if we need more later. And that is our miso paste. Our spices all go in there. And then we have our nutritional yeast that creates the cheesy flavor in there. We have our mushroom seasoning for added umami. And then I have roasted garlic here. And if you don't have any, don't worry about it. You can use garlic powder. Okay. And then we're gonna blend this. And once it's smooth, we can pour it over our pasta. So we have blended this. I think it may not be salty enough. So we're just gonna taste this here because a lot of your flavor is coming from this. It's actually pretty good, but it does need a little bit more salt. And as you know, I try not to salt things too much initially because you could always add salt. So what we're gonna do is add about a teaspoon of Himalayan salt in here because we used the other teaspoon earlier to kind of boil our vegetables. So we lost some of the salt from there. And then let me just mix this real quick and then we can pour it into our pasta. Wonderful. Okay, so that should be good. Let me just put that all in here and pour this into our pasta here and then stir that around. The orchetti here hopefully will hold up. There was a lot of pieces that were kind of broken off on it already. So, okay, hold on. Let me stop there for now. And stir this. And let's see if we need more. We likely will need more pasta sauce. And I'm gonna bake this in the oven as well at 400 degrees so that it can get a little crispy on the top. So yeah, definitely need a tiny bit more sauce. There we go. And don't worry about like having extra sauce. It's all right. You can use it for other things during the week. Oh, that looks so beautiful. Okay, there's still some pieces there that's not fully coated. So we're gonna mix it thoroughly. You wanna make sure that we cover every single bit of it. Yeah. We're gonna need a little more. Because remember, when you bake something like this, it's gonna soak up some more of the sauces, so you want it a little runny. Okay, perfection. Now that we have that there, we're gonna transfer it over into this plate here. So this one is oven safe. So we can put this in there. We're just gonna bake it for about 5 to 10 minutes. What we're gonna wait for is some browning and sizzling on top, and then we'll take it out. Okay, perfect. And this is completely optional, of course. You don't have to do this. But I happen to have some vegan mozzarella, and I get this from Trader Joe's, and you can put that on top. This way this thing can crisp up, and it does melt. Okay, then we'll come back here in a bit and I'll show you the finished product. So welcome back. Our mac and cheese is done. You take it out of the oven. It is pretty hot. We baked it at around 400 to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is what it looks like. So the cheese is melted on top. I'm gonna leave that other one in there for just a little bit more. So you have your mac and cheese there. It's really nice, ooey gooey. And the remaining cheese sauce here, you can use it for tortilla chips or on top of other things that you're making. So I hope that the recipe that we brought you today is something that you're gonna try at home. It certainly is one of my go-to recipes when I'm making mac and cheese or other dishes that have some cheesy sauce. Thank you again for joining me, and we'll see you again in the next video.